Hello and welcome to Orion Spear Point. Um, Took me a little bit to recalibrate my energies from the two lives, and thank you everybody that attended that. It was absolutely beautiful, and a lot of energy within those two, and more happened than I'm aware. But we listen, we follow, we show up, right? So today definitely feels like a masculine initiation video. So this is going to continue on that process. So there's a lot opening up. Um, I am talking to the land here just to give a little update before we kind of jump in. So I am talking to the land here, and I haven't got the green light to offer the land sessions yet. The whole reason being, if I'm gonna when I offer that, I have to, like, it's me working with the land that currently holds me to help others, basically. So this is going to be that's a lot bigger energy. So I have to get their permission, whether the land here wants to do that or not. I talked to it yesterday, so we'll see. We're continuing on that. So that's in the works. And yeah, today is a special day, so May 8th. So this is going to be a good one, but a lot is happening. So let's jump in. So one of the essences that's coming in is the retrieval of the masculine essence. So what I'm aware of is it's kind of like, oh, that's hilarious. Okay, so when you have a lightning strike, or when you have um, a tree with its roots that shoot out, it kind of shoots out to all these different parts. I think a lightning bolt is more appropriate because it's showing me this. So when it strikes, there's only the main stream of energy that comes down, and the land meets it, right? And then the energy connects. But all those threads that reach out and don't really go anywhere, they don't reach ground. Like, they still have to run. And that's what I was aware was kind of running, was that all these energies were kind of reaching their end destination that didn't ground anywhere because they're not rooted in the true energy or the pure energy. And it was a little bit exhausting. So this has been happening, I think, longer than I'm aware of, but it was very, very potent this last month, basically. And it kind of reached a peak, and it was kind of exhausting. And you had to go into um the dark, kind of the underworld, basically, to continue on this. So what happened was, basically, it was a retrieval of a masculine essence. So all this energy, basically, within my system, it was kind of like what it is in a masculine activation that's currently happening this month. Man, this is going to be, it's already kicking off. So what it felt like was a retrieval. So there was all this energy that was being retrieved from when it was built within the old systems. But I didn't realize how much of the current operating system was engaged in that. So there was a lot of energy that was retrieved. Now, here's the interesting thing. This is an energy that is running, that is not really well aware of. I know I wasn't aware of it for the longest time, and then I actually got to see it very clearly. And it's retrieving the essences that are kind of like, are a big chunk of the masculine essence that's wrapped up in the we'll call it the overlay, that is really this dynamic between masculine and feminine, and actually keeps a lot of this the same, but energy within the whole world the way it is, it keeps it that way. So, and it's, before we go in, because this is a very sensitive um it's a soft point, and there's a lot of potential for confusion and pointing fingers and accusations. So first, before we jump into that, I want to preface this by saying that for the masculine energy, I know I'm here because there's many points where in my journey that it was just like, okay, like I'm okay. Like if I'm not supposed to be here, like I'm okay with that. And one of the things that was really important for me that has driven me all this way is um the voice for the true masculine essence, the voice for the masculine energy, like within everything, right? And sorry, that's interesting. So that's the black mark right there. That's Cade. So that's essential oil. But this continuing, this love for the system is because it has a place and it needs its full essence back. So that's where a lot of this comes from, is just love for masculine energy for my own being and for the masculine energy in general, and the love of the feminine. So I have so much love for the feminine. And I think that's inherent in both energies, right? You just love the opposite because it's an amazing to see. Like that's just love. So that being stated, we'll go into this. So what was shown to me was retrieving the masculine essence. So how it's been shown to me a couple of times within the fall of the masculine essence was that you destroy the body, so the body's kind of mangled, and then you infect the body. So the actual body was infected with programs or operating systems, whatever you want to say. There's a lot that went into this, and that's kind of like the distance between the true representation and what has become nowadays. So retrieving it is going back to those moments, which is very, very delicate and can be traumatizing because it holds so much energy. But then also, it's kind of like you can see the dance between the two, because how it occurred to me was that all these systems that were in place, the operating systems that I was retrieving, they were currently running, trying to get the system to be stable, trying to prop the system up. Like it had good intentions. It was just rooted in energy, and it didn't couldn't see as far down deep into the energies as it was possible. And when that was continuously running, one of the things is that when the energies, all those dense energies came up, it would push them down and actually freeze them, because it was just like, no, no, no. Before that comes up and we deal with it, we have to we have to prop the system up. Like we have to get stable within this environment. How do we do that? And when it wasn't running, like the lightning strike was hitting the end point, like it's kind of like the failure energy comes in again. And you're just like, okay, let's sit with it. Why didn't this work? Why didn't this click into place? And it's just like, oh, I get it. We're not digging into the pure energy. We're still purging. We're still walking that way. Underneath it, the more that action, that command switch that comes up when those energies come up to deal with and you push them down just to get stable. What I didn't realize, and I saw it more clearly, and it made a lot of sense, is that action within that, there is a subroutine that actually is like almost a kill command. And basically what it's doing, because actually the key to actually getting through all this and building in the new, and like actually rooting within love and building with it and standing tall within that energy and being pure, like having all these initiations, like embodiment, whatever word you want to use to go through that, it's through that dense energy that the key is there. So to push it down, the other subroutine that was running is the kill command. Now, where does the kill command go? And this is something I didn't realize. When the feminine shines, like it has no option, but the masculine system has to go through this, right? Because she's shining, like she's embodied, she's shining, she's blossoming. Like there's so many things that are happening because of that. It's the representation of the true energy. So there's no part of within your system that can deny it. Now every part of your essence that's rooted in some of the old energies, like it gets brought up to the surface. Now that can be a lot of energy, and if you still have that action to push it down, it comes across as a self-protecting energy to self-preserve the system, because it's too much, it's going to fry the circuits, so let's push it down. The subroutine between all of this is kind of like, it is kind of like to look at the feminine, and if that energy is going to continue to shine because her energy isn't blossoming, like she's coming into her full feminine. This is rooted within the planet. This is an energy that is so pure, that is like shining all this love, that's like a potency that we haven't seen in the reality, that you breaks through all of it. The subroutine within it is a kill command, a kill the feminine. And it was interesting to watch, because this isn't bringing this up to the surface. This isn't a criticizing of the masculine energy. This is actually acknowledging that this is running, because I think I will even say, like, most, if not most of it, like we'll even put a number on it, 95% of guys don't know that this is running within their energy. I didn't. And I was like, really, and this isn't something that I saw recently. I saw it a while ago, probably a couple of years ago, run, but this is the first time where I was able to face it more directly. And there was be like, no, 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 no. Whatever this energy is, we're retrieving all of my essence out of that, because I refuse to partake in that kind of operating system anymore. It's great on paper, but now that routine of that self-preservation to push it down, now you have to sit with it. Now you have to face all that dense energy, and you have to sit with it. And if you can't build currently, then you have to wait. And then you have to continue to actually fall deeper into the energy so that you can build in the new energy, like the true energy. I think new is kind of like, it's worn out as welcome. So the true love. So you can build in love, build with love. That's probably a better one. Build with love. So you can build with love, right? Because your energy needs to do something, right? It's kind of like part of that. It's still about being, but this is, now you can't shut it off. Now you have to face all that and go through it. So that self-preserving, like, okay, let's put this on hold, let's put this on ice, right? Let's freeze it for just the time being. And it can be in the best of intentions. And that backdoor system, which I don't even feel is, it feels like an imposter energy as well. So that was implanted because it uses part of your essence. The moment you do that and like distract or run or just put it on ice just for a minute, like, and it's not saying that like whenever this comes in, it's just like, no, you still have your standards, right? Masculine and feminine, you still have your standards, like, but it's facing it in every single moment. And the moment that you catch yourself, your energy, how it responds to that, because the deeper and deeper you go, there is an essence, like the deepest depths, you can see it. And so the beautiful thing is that when you see that and all the actions that caused it, so this is run for a long time, right? And the dance between the two, retrieving your essence back out of that I feel is what's required. Now, just acknowledging it and seeing it and knowing that it's there is the first step to kind of like getting it out. This isn't a criticizing thing, because I think masculine and feminine, like throughout all time, like we've been subjugated, entombed, trapped, enslaved, use whatever word you want to use. Like they're all true throughout all time, right? Throughout all these eons, we've been through that, and we're continuing, right? How much in the world have we gone through all this? We've picked up all the ancestor programming of how we survive, the survival aspects. You can look at the world with the wars that are popping up, the way the energy is just popping really spiky, and it's just getting like kind of like this scarcity is like rampant, but underneath it all, like the true energy is starting to flow in. And that's why things are getting kind of crazy and destabilizing. So it's retrieving those aspects that run in that, and then more stuff starts to destabilize because you're not playing in it anymore. And it's not like, of course you see it, and there is kind of um there's a balancing act that has to take place. I can tell you that when I first saw it, my system got hot and passionate, because when I first saw it, I'm just like, oh no, we're gonna get all my essence that is wrapped in any part of that, and we're getting it out. And then this is part of the reason for this video, is that we're just going to provide a road that you can get your essence back and retrieve it and get it back home. That's the beauty. That's all that's required, really. Just retrieve it, get it back, bring it back home. That's what's needed. And by doing that, the space that is for the feminine to actually really kind of like, because it's not that you don't have all that weight on top of you that prevents the blossoming as much. There's still an action within you that you still have to go through. There's still an initiation, but now you don't have that added weight, at least how I've seen it in the energetics time and time again. Now for the masculine system, it's great because you're retrieving yourself that's been operating in some of these very nasty energies, and then you're retrieving it back. And then the whole thing has to be kind of looked at and be like, I don't care what this is. I want it back. I want my essence back. And to do that, now you have to look at all of it. So when it comes up, it's retrieving that and being able to see it. You're strong enough to do it. And because you've got the energy, now you're breaking into the physical. Because now it's like every single time. That old energy, it actually feels like one of the things that was very common in the beginning was that when you're seeing like the embodiment of the feminine, sometimes how it felt to me was the distance between your physical representation and the true embodiment of the masculine energy. That distance felt like a huge canyon to walk every single time. And I was willing to walk it because it was love, right? But it just, my system was getting exhausted. And then that self-protective energy came in because my system was going to break. So it was needed at that time. But now this is more of that, where we're getting deeper into these energies, where you can see the foundation of how this all started. Now your energy has reached a point where you can handle it, and you're actually getting closer to the channels and the threads between your physical representation and your true essence are starting to get more and more. You're bleeding into the physical. You're sprouting into the physical. The lightning strike is hitting the ground more and more frequently. You're starting to come up. This is that point. So you're retrieving that essence, and now you have to face all the energy that comes up. There's a lot of density that's wrapped up within the masculine energy, quite a lot, but you're strong enough to see it, face it, and go through it. And your guidepost through all of this is love for your own system, right? Especially when you're dealing with this energy. The action of self-love is paramount. Otherwise, like seeing a lot of this where your essence is wrapped up in some of these very tricky programs, they're very clever, is the way in which you can stay neutral while seeing it. So this is very, very exciting. It's an action of walking through the darkness, but this is where the two can temper. And it's amazing to see. But this is also like standing in the true energy, because now you need these essences back to even be able to stand on equal ground with the true essence of the feminine embodied. Because otherwise it's going to shine up all these dense energies within your system, and that self-protection program is going to come up. And then if she's shining and you are asking yourself not to deal with what is coming up because of all that lights that's igniting within your system, the more the energy increases, the more it's going to like escalate until that because it's rooted in self-protection. So this is like retrieving that essence, coming back to your full self and knowing that there's no reason for the self-protection. You can handle it on your own and you can see it as it comes up and stand tall because you have the energy of your true self. So this is a self-retrieval and you have to go into the dark to get it. And this is the masculine initiation into the divine. So this is actually quite exciting and um intense, but it's such an act of love for yourself, for the feminine, for all of reality, because it's coming back home and you're facing all of that, good and ill, and being able to see it, temper it, and release it, transmute it on a scale that is huge because we're rewiring something that is within the physical reality that is big. This is big. So, and it's a dynamic between masculine and feminine that's been running in the very background. So, that can come into the foreground, to the forefront. And this is what leads to a lot of conflict, confusion, all of this, because you don't realize that that command is running within your system. And that's okay. That's okay. But it's all about getting your whole essence back. And this is what runs in the background. So it's kind of I think this is, I don't know how long this is, but it feels like a more shorter video, more short and sweet, straight to the point. So I like that. So we'll leave it here. Um, yes. So we're going to continue with that. I'm going to go and talk to the land and then we'll see. I'll make a post if that comes up to do land messages or land sessions, I should say. And of course, I have sessions available, but I have a beautiful sunset in front of me. And today is amazing. And it's the start, it's just the beginning of a beautiful, beautiful month as we head into the solstice. So, with that, I give you a lot of love, a lot of passion, and shine bright. Take care.